In today's video, we're going to be diving into the upcoming pattern, taking a look at some high humidity. I know I've been talking about that for a while, but it really is abnormally high. We're seeing just tons of moisture. It's a little bit more reminiscent of what you expect to see in the heart of the summer as far as, mid to late June, early mid-July, that kind of time frame. And obviously we are much ahead of that, so that is definitely ahead of schedule. We're going to be seeing days of storminess, and they might not be the worst thunderstorms here the next couple of days, but the rainfall is going to be very, very intense. There's going to be a whole lot of it, and yeah, it's just going to add up. And really, after that point, we might get a couple of days of a break, but it looks like that activity is going to be the trend over the next 1 to 2 weeks. So, pretty crazy stuff. Let's go ahead and dive into things, and we're taking a look at that surface dew points essentially. Obviously, you can tell where they're higher and you can tell where they're lower. What's perfect here is usually we're looking for about 60 degree dew points and up, and the green and brown is kind of what separates just about that 50 or 60 degree line. So we could tell where the thunderstorms are going to be it's going to be really sufficient for thunderstorm activity. This is by this afternoon, and we can see really there is a high enough humidity for that type of activity in a lot of the southeast corner of the nation. Moving towards Tuesday afternoon, we can actually see this building and worsening by Wednesday all the way up into Canada. I mean, we have very, very high humidity. These areas are comfortable, but still high enough for thunderstorms. It's really the area south of there where we're looking at really, really high dew points there. Thursday on the 15th, same thing, but we can tell by Thursday there is some sort of cold front boundary happening here where we're getting this push of dry and most likely cooler air as well, probably a low up here with a warm front up above would be what I'm assuming is happening here. Again, Thursday the 15th, and we see that advancing for Friday, especially on the northern side of things. We see this bode out. We see this push from the south here in the south central states. So likely this cold front is being funneled in here on the north. Again, low is still probably up here. Warm front up above. Something like that is the look by Friday, Saturday, and this is the 17th, 16th, 17th, by the way. So 17th, 18th, 19th, we see the south hold on to its humidity. The north kind of loses it. And then we get this kind of rebound of it, where a lot of the Ohio Valley and Mid-Atlantic are pretty high by that next week, 23rd, 24th, and then we get that dry push again before that humidity builds back up. So we can tell very, very intense Gulf push of this moisture in the air, essentially moving northward, but there is plenty of cold fronts that build and push that out momentarily from time to time, and that is going to create some pretty intense thunderstorms and overall maybe even severe weather events happening. Let's go ahead and take a look here at the storminess in general, and we see again across the southeast we are dealing with a very intense area of storms moving through. Not intense in terms of severe weather, probably. It is possible that there will be some severe weather, but the main thing is that it's just this persistent heavy rain for a lot of areas that lasts hours, and it could add up to inches of precipitation in some of these locations. We also have some showery activity happening across the northwest, also some snowfall for those mountainous areas, of course. As we just keep moving through this, I want to take this towards Tuesday afternoon tomorrow. We see that this area has moved further northward and really just expanded, and you can see there's some heavier pockets in here. Definitely going to be heavy in some of those spots. We do see that continued showery activity out west as well. Looking towards Wednesday here, afternoon on the 14th. Again, just continued storms across the Ohio Valley, Great Lakes, deeper south, Mid-Atlantic, even into bits of the Northeast as well here. Again, Wednesday the 14th. As we keep going, Thursday on the 15th here, we do see some of that activity across the east is slowing down. A more intense low is developing, though, 986 between Iowa and Minnesota. We see the Dakotas also getting pretty heavily impacted by this one as well. And that is right around the point where we were seeing that cold front underneath here. So we were seeing something like this on the humidity. Again, warm front is stretching up above. You can tell the heaviest precipitation is actually nearby the low or to the west of it, which is typically a little different, but interesting to say the least. And by Friday here, well, between Thursday and Friday is a big point because we actually get a little bit of this cold front developing for the Great Lakes and upper Midwest area, and that is going to be pretty impactful. That's going to be something that needs to be watched because we are looking at a threat of severe weather here. Definitely, we've been seeing this for a couple of days from the Storm Prediction Center, and it's definitely something that I'm going to be paying pretty close attention to. The dynamics here are pretty interesting. Again, stronger low just to the northwest. We get that stretching cold front down. Obviously, a warm front was up above. So we're getting high humidity and heat here for the Great Lakes region. And then that cold front with very dry air and cool air behind it slamming in. That's going to be something to really watch closely. And actually, I need to switch to the 0Z model run as well so that we can get further in. So here is by Friday on the 16th, and we see that this cold front, I called it a cool front the other day, so now I'm getting kind of caught up, but we see the deep south into the mid-Atlantic and northeast here, dealing with some chances of showers or thunderstorms. Obviously, probably the deeper south area has the better chance of thunderstorm activity, and maybe further north it's a little bit more showery, but sometimes the dynamics are right, and we see it the other way around. Time will tell, of course. This is a ways out still. Looking at Saturday afternoon, also another day of pretty intense storminess along this eastern corridor. And really out west, they haven't missed a beat. I mean, we've been seeing showery activity every day we've passed here on this model run, so that looks to continue as well here, still for Saturday the 17th. Sunday the 18th, we see that cold front for the most part move out. The intensity of this western storm is actually increasing. We see across the plains and down to the deep south. It's kind of extended in a weird angle. Kind of from the northwest down to the southeast. Regardless, I mean, there is some thunderstorms popping up there and still some activity in the northeast. So a pretty stormy day for Sunday the 19th or the 18th. For the 19th here on Monday, look, 98 developing there over Colorado. Some snow and rainfall happening to the west of it. And we're going to be watching for a cold front off of this one. So let's see what happens by Tuesday afternoon, and we get this low. It's pretty messy. It's a broad area of pretty low pressure, but it looks like it wants to develop kind of a cold front dynamic. I don't know, but I feel like with this setup, regardless, there's going to be a severe weather corridor in here, even though it's not the most aesthetic system that we've ever seen. As we move towards Wednesday on the 21st, though, it becomes a little bit more clear the picture this model is trying to paint, and we get this cold front really stretching down here. Warm front's a little drier, but it is there. And this would be another threat for a similar area, actually. Great Lakes, upper Midwest, and, maybe some of the Ohio Valley there for Wednesday on the 21st. Very similar to that one before it, actually, which is interesting. I'd like to continue, though, and move us towards Thursday on the 22nd. We see that cold front is elongated, but it's still there for a lot of these areas across some of the lower Midwest, Ohio Valley, Central Plains, areas like that. There is this cold front dynamic still happening. Still showery out west. Really, that doesn't look to stop anytime soon. Friday on the 23rd here, we continue to see this activity where the cold front was. So maybe that thing continues to have some steam. A little bit of a weaker low here back to the west and some showers happening back behind everything. Saturday on the 24th, though, this becomes our primary low, 998 over the Great Lakes. Cold front extending down. A very weak warm front there, but there is some warm and humid push happening up the east. This would be a thunderstorm and maybe even severe weather threat underneath as well. But this is 300 hours out, so you're going to want to take it with a grain of salt. This is very, very far out, but it could give us an idea of the pattern that we're going to be in here moving forward. Sunday on the 25th, very quiet. There is some showers there, as you can see, across the Midwest, Ohio Valley, into the Northeast, and also for some of the plains there as well. But nothing too crazy happening, and same story by Monday, the 26th, which is the end of the model run, essentially. So that's it for that. Really interesting. I think we get caught in a loop with these storms moving and really causing the most activity in that Midwest, Ohio Valley corridor. That could be a pretty big trend to pay attention to, but also the continuous storms moving up the eastern seaboard is going to lead to a lot of rainfall as well. So overall, just very active. And I mean, we'll see it on the precipitation here, but areas in here in general have a really good shot of being very active compared to normal. When we look at the anomalies, there's obviously like a drier pocket in the middle here. but very active for the northern plains, upper Midwest, and northern Rockies. Same story for the deep south up the eastern seaboard. A little bit of dryness in between, but that could be hit or miss. That's very hard to pinpoint where that would be. So we will continue to pay attention to it, but that could shift around quite a bit. Storm Prediction Center outlooks. Again, spoiler on day 3. Let's look at day 1 here. We have 2 general thunderstorm risk areas in the lighter greens. And that is where we expect general thunderstorms, but anything is possible. So heat ever watch warning and advisory. We also have the 2 darker green areas there, one for Montana and North Dakota, and then one there for the southeast. That is where we expect isolated severe weather to occur here today on Monday the 12th. Day 2, tomorrow on Tuesday the 13th, we have 3 general thunderstorm risk areas. Typically, we can expect maybe to see an upgrade somewhere. I'm sure somewhere we'll end up with a marginal risk for tomorrow. Once we get to later today or tomorrow, we will see. Day 3, again, large general thunderstorm risk area. This is for Wednesday the 14th, by the way, and then a marginal risk for the Dakotas into Nebraska, as well as a little bit of Iowa and Minnesota. On the extended day range, we do have this right here, again, for the upper Midwest, Great Lakes, maybe even a little bit of the Ohio Valley region there in western Ohio. And that's going to translate roughly to a level 2 slight risk, which is where we expect scattered about severe weather to occur. This could also be more. These only come in 2 levels, 15% and 30%. So this could mean slight. This also wouldn't surprise anybody if there was an enhanced in there either, or maybe even more. So continue to pay attention because this could look a lot worse. And tomorrow's a big day because this is going to be on day 3, and we'll actually get the categorical outlook for it, which will be, it'll clear things up a little bit, which I'm looking forward to knowing what's going to actually be happening. Be sure to subscribe. We upload every single day. You can even hit the bell icon for daily notifications when we upload so you never miss one. Be sure to like the video if you did enjoy it. Leave a comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.